Live from New York, it's Ask an Engineer.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another amazing and astounding Ask Engineer. It's me, Lady Ada, the engineer. With me is Mr. Lady Ada Phil on camera control and handling like 5 streams at once or something ridiculous. We'll talk about that in a minute. We have an exciting show for you today. We're broadcasting live from the Adafruit headquarters in downtown Manhattan. We're in a warehouse. Look, there's warehousing behind us. This is not a photo studio. This is not a backdrop. This is real manufacturing electronics here in Manhattan.
Yeah, when we do live broadcasts from the factory sometime, men are in disbelief. I can't believe there's a lady talking to me about engineering in a factory. It must be a green screen.
It must be CGI.
It must be a green screen, and you must be like an avatar.
Yeah.
Remember Avatar?
I'm actually Benedict Cumberbatch, who's acting as me. He's such a good actor. He can
the disbelief that they have, that this is all real, that this is a real factory.
We're doing it.
Yeah.
We're real. We're live. So tell them about today's show and tell them about these streams.
Okay, on today's show, we have a lot of things. The code is Feather, and for a very good reason.
Which we'll talk about later.
Yeah. Show and tell. We'll go over the people who showed up, shared their projects, and more. Pack the mailbags and stop by. Letters from you, our community, customers, friends, and more. Adafruit Jobs Board, the best place online to post your skills, or if you're a company, to find makers. Time travel. We'll look back in the world of makers, hackers,
science,
you name it.
Engineering.
We look back.
Yep.
Wearables, cool project and video from Becky. 3D printing, a cool video and more in the world of 3D printing from Noah and Pedro. We have a special video for Pi Day from Tony DeCola. We got some new products. We're going to answer your questions. We have a top secret. Oh, yeah.
Oh, people stay tuned.
Yeah. A trivia question, all that and more on Ask an Engineer. All right. So that's that. Special programming note, we'll go over this at some point in the future, but we are broadcasting on Ustream. We're broadcasting on YouTube. We're broadcasting on Periscope. We're broadcasting on Twitch. So right now...
4 streams.
Yeah.
You can watch us in quad vision.
Yeah.
So Twitch, YouTube, Periscope, and Ustream.
Yeah. On my screen that you see, the secondary screen here,
Yeah.
here's Twitch, looking
Okay,
pretty
see,
good.
Look at Twitch. Look, Twitch looks great, actually.
Yeah. Okay, there's Ustream.
Ustream also looks very
Okay.
good.
There's Periscope.
Periscope's good
Yeah,
and
well,
fun.
it's coming from a phone.
Yeah, it's from a phone, so
Right.
it's, yeah.
And then you got YouTube.
YouTube's also looking really good.
Yeah, so got
And
that
there's
going on.
there's chats and all of these which you're gonna have to
Yeah.
keep track of. But so yeah, is there actually any other broadcasting streaming service that you ever want to use, or is this pretty much it?
No, I would consider others. I mean, it's just incredibly complicated.
What channel? I know. So Twitch is historically for gaming.
Yeah, but they're expanding.
But now they're expanding. So what channel are we in? A channel or like?
We're up against like Bob Ross or something like that right now.
Okay,
But
paint with electrons. But what's the? Is it like is it DIY or is it like live shows or is it like what category is it?
I don't know what category we're in. I think we're in videos.
Oh, just videos, okay.
Yeah, and it says untitled broadcast. So I guess I got to figure out
Well,
some
we'll
of the
just start now.
specifics. Yeah, I got to figure out some of the specifics. But
Okay.
Anyways, that's what's going on.
So check
now.
that out. No matter what streaming service you love to use, we probably are on it right now.
Yeah, and Amazon bought Twitch.
That's right.
Yeah.
One of the unicorn companies. Well,
Yeah.
I've always liked the idea because it was, we're doing live from Desk of Lady Ada, which we do on Periscope and Ustream Live. Maybe we'll try out Twitch at some point too, because it's funny. It's like people play games and people watch people play games, but I personally think that laying out double-sided boards at max density at 8/8 rule is a kind of a game. I mean, like you have to make everything planar and line up and not cross the red lines and the blue lines. So, maybe we'll broadcast on Twitch for when I do EagleCAD layout or debugging hardware. It's kind of a game.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So that's everything that's going on. We got a lot going on. The code tonight is Feather. It's because we're launching a new product line called Feather. We'll talk about that tonight.
That's a great logo from Bruce.
Yeah.
Great logo.
So that's the logo for it. Just some housekeeping stuff. We have our
Freebies.
deals. Yeah, we have our deals. At $99, you get a Permaproda. 150, we have a trinket. 200, we have free UPS ground, continental US, and at 250, we got the trinket.
Pro trinket.
5
volt. And what's cool is These are the latest versions. The Trinket we've upgraded to a micro USB, so it's even smaller than before and thinner. And if you order $250 or more, you get all of the previous stuff as well. So it's like you get a Trinket and a Perma Proto and free shipping and a Pro Trinket. So definitely, if you are planning to do some holiday shopping, get everything from Adafruit. Helps support us and helps pay for our microphones.
Yeah. And so the other thing is, if you're in New York, this is still working out great. We do same-day delivery. So if you order before 11 a.m. and you're in one of the many locations in Manhattan that we ship to same day, it'll show up at your door same day.
Yep.
So lots of advertising agencies freaking out. Like, oh my gosh, we need 50 Raspberry Pis.
What's funny is every single year, historically, we've had the agencies that design the stores, like the storefronts on Madison Avenue and Fifth Avenue, and like all the, they have like animatronics, and like Santa is like pouring candy into a bowl or something, I don't know. And they often use Adafruit stuff for like LEDs and robotics and stuff. And so we're definitely going to see. Well, one of the things we like to do is in the winter we go around and we see hey, remember those people ordered that stuff and now it's in a show display.
Okay. And then the other programming note is you're watching Ask an Engineer every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Show and Tell is every 7:30 Wednesday Eastern
Time.
Yeah, words. And now it's Lady Ada with the Show and Tell.
Okay. Thank you for the intro. So we have our Show and Tell every week at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, as he said, whatever, daylight savings or not, whatever. It's 7:30. If it on my watch it says 7:30, it's time on Wednesday for the Show and Tell. So you guys should show up. We had some really great guests, a lot of new people this week. Started with Tony Nicole from Adafruit Northwest, who has been trying out processing, which is the name of like a programming language, a graphical programming language. That uses Java, or apparently can use Python now, and he's trying it out on the Pi because they recently announced that they have a Pi compiled version, and he's getting it working with a Pi TFT, so you can run your processing sketch on the Pi TFT as a little standalone, and he's going to do a tutorial about that, and we also have another video project that we'll show later that he talked about, a Pi camera project. Noah and Pedro, who do the 3D printing show on Thursdays, as well as our 3D printing projects, made a 3D printed Pi camera holder that uses our little uses our camera bobs and widgets to screw onto any tripod, so you can basically use the Pi camera as like a video camera. And then we had David B, who had a flaming pumpkin, a pumpkin that actually shoots flames, uses an ESP8266 Huzzah board for internet connectivity and Elasticsearch. So I'm actually not exactly sure how it works, but it seems like when you speak to the pumpkin, it actually sends that audio to Amazon and then decodes it. So when you say like flame pumpkin, it will turn on the pumpkin flame. So check out that video. It's pretty hardcore, and he's like doing a lot of stuff with Amazon and Elasticsearch and Raspberry Pi and ESP8266. We also had Tim come by, who took one of our super high-pitched 32 by 32 LED matrices, it looked like, and glued it to the front of his hat, and he had a face on it. So with multiple switches, it could have messages, and like the face would blink, and LEDs would look around, and it looks like a lot of Phil B's dragon face projects, but very high density and on a hat. And then Daniel built his very own GPS watch using a Pro Trinket, a Nokia 5110 SPI display, and a GPS, and he 3D printed an enclosure. And so he has a watch that has both the synchronized time, atomic synchronized time, so it's like the perfect watch, as well as the current GPS coordinates. So definitely seeing a lot more smartwatch projects. And that's it. That's the people.
Okay. All participants on the Show and Tell get an As Seen on the Show and Tell sticker. Just email support@adafruit.com and we'll send you an As Seen on the Show and Tell sticker.
Awesome.
To get on the Show and Tell, all you need to do is post up a comment on the Adafruit Google Plus page.
Yeah, Google Plus account.
Yeah.
Comment on the page.
Yeah, and we add you to the circle.
And we add you to the circle, and then also at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, check that comment because we'll post a link. And so if on the off chance that Google doesn't send you the invite or it takes a while, you can always just click that link and immediately come into the chat, and that's a great way to do it. So also 7:30 p.m. just wait for the update to that thread. Super easy.
Super easy.
Every week. Okay.
All right. So next up, back at the mailbags and stop by. We read these emails to the entire company and we read them to you. This week, this is from Rodney. I just wanted to compliment your packaging. I received my cupcake today, and the post office tried their hardest to destroy it by punching a big hole in the top of the box. They do that. They then tried to cover it up by wrapping in plastic like it would be noticed. Anyways, after taking a couple photos of what they did, in case I needed proof, I opened the box and everything inside was perfectly in place, nothing was broken, and it appears everything is there. You couldn't even tell from the contents that the box was tossed around at all. Thanks again for your care you show your customers. With that and your very supportive website, you guys are one of the best. Rodney.
I do want to mention that we have insurance on all shipments. So
yeah, you don't have to go through the post office. So
just tell us.
We have a maker business newsletter that we write. And today there was a story, and it was about how the post office won't even abide by their own insurance. And so this woman had shipped a $2,000 expensive power supply. She insured it for the $22, and it broke. And she brought it there, and she said, "Hey, the post office obviously damaged the package." And they said, "Okay." They accepted it. They stamped it, and they then gave her a receipt that they received it. Later on, she says, "Okay, what's the status with my claim?" And they said, "Well, we lost it." And she said, "Well, you had it. You have proof that all these things. How can you lose it on your own?" And they said, "Yeah, it happens, and we're not we're not responsible for it if we lose it and accept it." And she's like, So the local news got involved. Miraculously, they found the package right after that, but they still don't want to pay the insurance because of the damage that they did.
That's why we don't go through the USPS insurance system. We actually we self-insure. We have our own insurance policy. So we just, instead of going through a claim and everything, basically if the package is damaged, we'll just replace it for you. It makes it easier for the customer, better for everybody. It doesn't happen very, very often. It's super rare, but when it does, we just want to take care of the customer. And so, just if it does happen, email us.
Yeah.
It'd be cool.
And the other thing that I did in the newsletter is I linked to our ongoing, we keep logs of how often and where there's been postal issues. Yeah. And so I linked to that. So if you're ever wondering, wow, I have a postal package and I got it, but the status still didn't even update on postal, that's very unfortunately getting more usual for people. The worst part is sometimes customers say, well, you never shipped my package because the status hasn't been updated. And we say, no, it has. The post office just doesn't update often. So we keep track of all of these to show customers, look, it was delivered to the post office. We have a log, but then they haven't scanned it yet. So sometimes it can disappear in New York and then reappear a week later in California, never scanned through the whole postal chain, and then it shows up in someone's mailbox and it still hasn't been updated.
My favorite is that the mail sorting center nearest to us is in Jamaica, New York. That's the name of the city.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
So people are like, why is your package in Jamaica? And we're like, no, not Jamaica, the country. It's actually just a town called Jamaica. That's where the sorting center is. Anyways, we suggest you use UPS Ground when shipping important packages.
Yeah. So anyways, that's a little bit of maker business tip. And we have that newsletter, and you can go to adafruitdaily.com. It's a spam-free newsletter. It has nothing to do with your own account. You know what? I'll break into this screen. I'll say this: I was a little nervous about having a newsletter because even though we specifically said it's a different site, so there's adafruit.com. That's customer stuff. We decided to make a separate site called adafruitdaily.com.
Different databases, different server,
everything, nothing to do with your customer account that you're forced to give us your information because we need to send you a package. Yeah. So I was actually I thought that the community, or not even community, like the people who don't know us were going to say, well, you're still going to spam me, and they were going to be really crappy to us. But you know what? No one has sent an email and said, you're going to spam me or you've spammed me or whatever, because we don't. And everyone's pretty cool. In fact, we've got the opposite. People have said, thank you for having a site that's just newsletters and I don't have to worry about it. So
there's no risk. We've separated milk and meat. They do not touch on the plate.
So we did that, and that just means when you sign up on Adafruit Daily, it has nothing to do with your customer experience at all. And so you can get wearables, you can get maker business, you can get electronics
tips.
And then we're adding 3D printing.
3D printing tips.
Yeah, so we're going to keep adding all these different newsletters. It's just cool stuff that you get every day, and we're not selling anything. Like today was here's me complaining about UPS with a really good story.
What I really think is interesting is how we actually, because we've thought about this. We actually have a different domain name, adafruitdaily.com. So there's absolutely no risk of someone marking it as spam and it affecting adafruit.com. So it's it's super clear. Anyways. We think hard about this stuff. Like
Yeah.
days.
Yeah, and it worked out, and you know, I'm a little jaded and scarred with baggage, and I was like, well,
Meaningless baggage.
yeah, I was like, oh, you know, well, I thought people were gonna just be mean, but you know, it turns out everyone, unless they haven't hit send on a crummy email yet, they're really nice. They're like, thank you, like because it's so easy for a company to turn their customers into spam. We don't do that.
I think it's because we're honest and we're respectful. We respect that there's people who do want to have a mailing list. We'll offer that, and we'll do it in a way that is best for the person.
Yeah.
Not best for some mythical CFO or marketing person.
Here's my request to everybody out there. No. So every time you go to a maker website, and I mean like one of the companies that are kind of like us, sell similar things, if there's a pop-up, a newsletter pop-up, sign up for newsletter, send them an email and tell them to stop it. Just tell them to stop it.
There's actually one site.
You can say
whose name I won't mention.
Can you whisper it to me, and then I'll pretend.
No, because you're just gonna say you mean what? You on an iPad, because I browse on an iPad sometimes. You can't click it away. If you click it, it just pops up again, and it's like you must sign up, and you can't get rid of it. And then they trick you because if you don't click exactly on this little X. Click exactly on the little X, which, you know, if you have fingernails, you can't. It's like, you have signed up for like 8,000 things.
If we have like thousands of people who watch the show, if you all just email and say, enough's enough, quit it.
But the problem is, they'll say, oh, look at all this reader engagement. It's working out.
No, tell them, look, you can keep doing it, but we're just going to not buy from you.
Okay.
Anyways. All right, so.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Back to the show. We also do engineering.
Yeah. All right, so here's the job board. This is a place where makers can post their skills, and then companies or people who are looking for someone to help. This one is LED circuit and PCB design. This is at Social Booth LLC. If you're someone in California or possibly remotely, ask them. Mm-hmm. They're looking for someone who will use 500mm LEDs for flood lighting for simple photography. Must have prior experience and examples to show. They have a basic shape of the board, and they'll be using Adafruit's Metro Mini for the controller, but the remainder of the parts are needed. info@socialbooth.net if you want to build something.
This is a cool one, because you know what? This is a maker project. This isn't a company looking for like a full-time engineer.
Yeah,
this is Social Booth, some startup or something, and they're like, we need a thing, and we just want to hire a person to do a thing, and we'll pay them.
Yeah. And
they describe what it is, and that's great. Yeah. So this could be a really easy job for somebody who just knows EagleCAD. Whip out. You can use maybe you can use KiCad, and they have like auto LED like matrix makers. Like I've seen, like there's an automatic thing you can say like program in to make a grid, and you're golden. Okay.
Next up, some open source hardware news. I kind of put a few things in this category now. So first up, yay, Goth, New York, America. Today, big news, or actually yesterday, but it's hitting the wire today. The mayor of New York City and the speaker, Mark Viverito, unveil action plan to grow 21st century industrial and manufacturing jobs in New York City. They want to add more than 20,000 jobs. They're making a huge $115 million investment in the city. And our Lady Ada is quoted here as a New York City-based manufacturer. We have seen exciting growth in the advanced manufacturing hardware scene, and thrilled that the city is taking more notice and creating much-needed space and resources for these companies to support local innovation right here in New York City. Lamar Freed, engineer and founder of Adafruit Industries.
That's a big deal. We are a New York City manufacturer.
Yeah, so it's a big deal. I've said this before. I'm going to head and say it again. I believe this is the only woman-owned manufacturing company in New York with no loans and no venture capital. I believe that is a true statement.
Okay.
You know what? I would love to be wrong about that.
I'm not.
I'd be pleasantly surprised.
I know many people in every other category, but I don't know anyone who hits all of them.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'd like there to be more.
Okay. We hit a milestone, 20 million views on YouTube. Congratulations, Becky and the entire team who does videos. That's a big deal. Thank you so much, everyone who hits the subscribe button and the like button. Thank you. Please do that. Hitting subscribe helps us because it makes us realize that there's people watching every week, so we make more videos. So please do that. Okay. Next up, Hackaday. Sophie sent me in a video. There is a Hackaday SuperCon coming up. Hackaday was my old thing. I started the site, designed the logo.
Lovely logo.
So I care deeply about the things that I used to work on, because I still get emails when people complain about something or compliment something. They'll say, good work on Hackaday. And I'm like, I haven't been working on that for a really long time. And they're like, oh, I thought you still were. So this is why I like helping people out. So this is a video from Sophie about the upcoming conference.
Hey, this is Sophie Kravitz from Hackaday. We are having our first hardware conference on November 14th and 15th, the Hackaday Super Conference. It is in San Francisco. There are some amazing presenters. There are over 20 technical talks and 8 hands-on workshops. So I'll just quickly tell you about a few of the workshops that are happening at the Super Conference. Paul Stoffrigan, who's best known as the inventor of Teensy, is doing a workshop on how to make audio sound best coming out of your microcontroller. This is a hands-on workshop. He will be bringing hardware to wire up to breadboards. He recommends that you bring a set of good quality headphones. Erin Kennedy, best known as Robot Girl, she will be doing a workshop using Antimony, which is a 3D command line printing software. And she has obtained a Formlabs 3D printer to do demos with. Toni Klopfenstein, she will be doing a workshop on that well-loved Wi-Fi chip, the ESP8266. And if you can't make it, we will be putting the talks out online after the Super Conference. And the workshops, many of them are on hackaday.io as projects. Hope to see you there. If you're coming, find me. I'd love to meet you.
That's the Hackaday promo video. Check it out. It's coming up soon. If you're in the San Francisco Bay Area, go to the conference.
It looks awesome. They got Paul Stoffrigan there doing a workshop. They've got all sorts of other people whose it handles a name that I don't remember. But when I checked it out, it's like very jealous, and I wish I could go. So please go.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, if you have the new Apple TV, there is an Adafruit channel. We rolled in pre-beta and pre-everything.
You know what I liked? The people on Twitter who were like, "Oh, I just got my Apple TV," and they're like, "Oh my God, Adafruit is already here," and they're like, "This is awesome."
No, there's not a lot to do on the new Apple TV quite yet, except for the Adafruit channel. So we took some photos. I was going to try to do a live demo, but I've already had enough technology complications this week.
Okay.
So anyways, you could just search for Adafruit. You can speak into the Siri and just say Adafruit. It'll find it.
Yeah.
And we have a cool channel. It has all of our videos.
Yeah,
it's highly curated.
Circuit Playground, Colin's Lab, and it has the special interviews, the interviews we've had with Paul Horowitz, as well as I'm trying to remember what the Micah video we did, so you can actually see us manufacturing.
Yeah.
So and the
CTO video.
CTO, and we'll put more in. Of course, we're going to keep updating it. We've done a lot. Thank you so much to Colin who's taken on this project, and it works.
It's
amazing.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, so 869 tutorials in the Adafruit learning system.
Getting to 1,000.
We're gonna get there.
Slowly but surely.
We'll get there. Lady Ada, what are the tutorials this week?
Wow, we started with a Magic Band teardown. I did this teardown with Becky only a couple days ago, and she rocked it out and got it live. It's a video as well as a tutorial. Basically, if you go to Disney World or Disneyland, you get this RF band, and I personally was interested, what is in there? And we opened it up, and it uses a NRF24L1, which is similar to the NRF2401, except it actually has a processor inside of it, like a 8051 or something processor. And so it has a 2.4 gigahertz radio, receive and transmit, as well as a microcontroller. It also seems like it does some sort of bit bang RFID type thing for contact measurements, because there's like a coil antenna as well as a strip antenna. Coin cell, it's molded, like waterproof. It's a really interesting product, and interesting. Like Disney does amazing engineering. Like they're some of the best engineers. Imagineering. So it's fascinating to see how they design this. It's not cheap. You know, like a lot of times we take apart like low cost bands or whatever wearables, and we're like, okay, obviously they're trying to do at the lowest cost possible, but you can really tell that they did the best quality job that they could do. So I thought that's really interesting. I want to take apart more Disney stuff, hopefully.
Okay, next up.
It's a very simple tutorial that is by Sam Klippinger, who wrote up this tutorial on using a NeoPixel with a Gemma, and basically just plug the NeoPixel into the Gemma and add a LiPo battery or some coin cells, and how to make your own LED candle. And Sam wrote code to make the NeoPixel flicker kind of like a candle. So it's like if you want to make your own non-flammable lighting, and you can of course have it be any color, it can be red, green, blue, whatever, but he made it kind of a nice yellowish tint. It's a good, simple project, easy to build. Take about an hour.
Okay. Next up.
This is a project by Rick Winscott, who's done a bunch of great robotics tutorial, but this is a useful one. He has an Android phone with a battery case, like the case is a battery to add more battery life, but he can't use the key charging for his Android phone while he has the battery case because the battery case covers it. So what he did is he took our key module, unscrewed the case, opened it up, and slipped the coil in. So he actually turned his battery case into a key charging battery case, and it sounds great because it's like now you get battery and you don't have to charge with wires.
Okay, next up.
We have a tutorial for the monochrome OLEDs, the 1.5 and 2.1 inch SPI, I2C, or 8-bit OLEDs. We'll be demoing them for new products. It's a tutorial just showing you how to download code, upload them, what they look like, wiring diagrams, all that good stuff.
Okay, and then last up.
Last up, we have the introduction to the Adafruit Feather tutorial. So we're going to talk about Feather, what it is, and what my vision is for the future. This is the basic Feather. So we talk about the pinouts and schematics and diagrams and layout. We'll talk about more about Feather, but if you want nitty-gritty details, board layouts and schematics and data sheets and all that, this is the tutorial for you.
Okay, that's it for the learn stuff this week. Good work.
Rocking along.
Okay, time travel. We look back in the world of hackers, makers, artists, and engineers. I did have this one discovery about time travel that I told you about.
Oh, right.
There's not a lot of ladies that want to go back in time, and you don't see a lot of movies about that. The only one recently that I recalled was Lucy, but it was just part of like her going through the entire universe.
Well, she also went forward in time. Right?
Did she go forward in time? No, she didn't.
Really?
No, she didn't go forward in time. Lucy only went back in time, and she went all the way back to the beginning of the universe.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And then Lucy, the biped,
hominid. Anthropithecus.
Yeah.
Shoot.
But she didn't go forward.
Okay, sorry. It's been like a year or two since we saw the movie.
But that's the only time traveling movie I saw. And the thing I was thinking about, because everyone did something for Back to the Future, but up until like 1979, like you couldn't have a credit card on your own if you were around. So like, why would you go back in time? Like, yay, I can't vote. Like, yay, I can't do anything cool. Okay. So I thought that was interesting. So when we do our time travel thing, we always celebrate achievements and things like that. But I did think about, it'd be really cool to have.
I don't know any lady time travelers.
See, yeah, this is the thing. If anyone out there knows an amazing story with a woman who's traveling through time.
Especially back in time.
Well, yeah, going forward would be cool. And just generally speaking, it's cool. Going back doesn't sound so much so much fun. So anyways, speaking of not fun time traveling, so 3 years ago to the day, we were just getting back into Adafruit. So Sandy completely killed this entire area. Adafruit was shut down. It was grim. We have no ability to ship packages. It was scary. We
had little bicycles.
We had little bicycles. We were running out of food. Our neighbor died inside of the apartment. It was creepy and grim and morbid. We decided, let's pay everybody in the company, even though no money's coming in. Let's do everything we can.
We were closed for a full week.
Yeah, we were closed for a while, and that hurts. Our servers aren't hosted here, so we could still take orders.
And we put up a banner, and what's interesting is actually people were pretty chill. Like we were expecting, we put banners like, warning, your order, you can place an order, but it's not going to ship. We have the inventory, but it's in a building that we can't get into because there's no power.
Yeah.
But I think actually it was pretty chill.
Yeah, we only had one main person, but they didn't even know the doors.
Okay, but yeah, they were just.
No, they said, "Where's my order?" It's like there's been a national disaster, and they said, "What? What do you mean national disaster? Like Sandy is shut down."
Turn on the news.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't know." Well, you should send me more emails.
There was that one person who was like, "Why haven't you replied to our email?" I'm like, "Well, we don't have email. There's no internet. We're on a cell phone, and we have to bike 3 miles to use it."
Yeah. Okay.
But we survived.
All right, that was time travel. So thank you everyone who stuck with us and helped out. It didn't kill us, we're stronger. Okay, next up, wearables. Becky has a teardown video this week that she did with you. This is not really neat.
It's that magic band.
Okay, here we go.
Take it away, Bex.
Yeah.
Welcome to another Adafruit Wearables Teardown. Today we're taking a look at the Disney Magic Band. You may have heard about this as an augmented upgrade for your kids to wear and track and have really interesting interactions at the Disney parks. There's some interesting electronics going on inside, so let's see what Lady Ada has to say about the design of the circuit.
Hey everybody, thanks Becky for taking apart the Magic Band from the Magic Kingdom. this would seem like it's really molded on. It's quite a serious endeavor to take it out. What's cute is actually when I was looking at this, so first off, this is the molding. So yeah, you can see that this plastic, you can actually read the part number off of the molded plastic and see every little component. This is, the waterproof molded. It has to be able to survive, like people jumping into pools with their bands on and forgetting about them. And this is pretty much the only thing inside there. It's a little chip, and it says NRF24LEDN14. This is related to the NRF2401 RF chip that many people are familiar with. It's very, very low cost, 2.4 gigahertz RF chip. It's not Bluetooth Low Energy, it's not Wi-Fi, it's just a direct 2.4 gigahertz connection, very low power. But this one actually, as you notice, there's no other chips around it. This, not only it has the radio, but also has a little processor in it. So Nordic made a version of the chip that basically has a simple 32-bit processor in it. So, if you want to not have to have the expense of an extra chip and you don't have to have something very complicated go on, this is good for you. There's a couple passives. There's a 16 megahertz crystal up here, a nice crystal. These traces over here come to the back, and these are your tested program points when it's manufactured. You can see the molding presses this in so much that you get little bumps on the back. And then this part over here looks like some sort of local antenna maybe, because it says apparently you can be used for distant as well as local communication. So there's possibly some way for it to act as a kind of a local sort of RFID-esque type thing. So when you touch the receiver, it notifies. This is molded on, and this is the battery holder. So the battery is kind of tucked in here into this plastic. This is a coin cell, non-rechargeable CR1620, lithium coin cell. And then this battery connector kind of folds over and into it. So they avoided having any mechanical connectors just by reusing this flex circuit. I guess they just press it in far enough that it makes good contact. And then over here, this got torn a little bit, but there is an antenna that goes down the band. So this is the trace antenna. And if you look up the NRF24 LE1, which is this chipset, you can see, this is the analog front end for the antenna, RX and TX, goes all the way out to the band. So it's pretty simple. There's just one chip, does processing and radio. The NRF24 can go quite a few meters. So this is definitely something that can do long distance communication, receive and transmit. Probably what happens is when you get the band, it has a unique identifier already burned into it. They take it to their station and then they tie it to your identification there, and then eventually it stops working. With the bill of materials, I'd say probably about 75 cents. It's not the cheapest design they could have gone with, but it's definitely a really good design. You can tell they didn't go for like some really low cost chip with like 900 megahertz or require a big antenna, maybe more battery. They went with a Nordic solution, kind of trusted, well-known chip, and it's very simple. And they probably make hundreds of thousands, if not millions of these a year, and they seem to be working out okay. So Nordic, you win this one. And that's our teardown of the Magic Band.
For this and many other teardowns, we use these tools and the Adafruit USB microscope with its articulated stand. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for future teardowns. Let us know what you'd like to see in the comments, and check out our playlist with the past teardowns that we've done here at Adafruit.
All right. Okay.
We're back.
We're back. And then don't forget, every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Wearable Electronics Becky Stern. Today, Colin hosted it. Jess hosted it. I think I'm up again in December. And then we rotate everybody out.
Great.
So check out the show.
Becky
3D printing.
Friends.
Yeah, 3D printing.
Zip,
We
zip,
have a special video with...
No, but this is the Ultimaker 1.75 millimeter how-to video. It's kind of like, it's like if you have an Ultimaker, how to use the most common filaments.
Okay, here we go.
Take it away.
Today we're going to find out how to use 175 millimeter filament on the Ultimaker 2. So there's a lot of reasons why we would want to use 175 millimeter filament on the Ultimaker 2, but really our main reason is because we just have a lot of it. There's also some advantages, like there's less stress on the motors, there's less pressure on the nozzle, and there seems to be more exotic types of filament that are in 175 millimeters. So let's see what we have to do.
So we've tested hundreds of hours printing 175 filament with really good results. It's actually pretty easy to do, and it doesn't require any hardware modifications. You can change the diameter of the filament on the LCD screen using the rotary dial. Be sure to check out our written guide on the Adafruit Learning System for a full tutorial and step-by-step instructions. To properly guide 175 filament into the feeder, you'll need to adjust the tension screws so that there's a firm grip on the material. Use the Insert Material option to begin the loading process. The motor will slowly move the filament through the guide tube, and once you see it pass through the feeder, select Ready on the LCD to fast forward the filament. Wait for the filament to pass through the Teflon tube area and let the nozzle purge the material for a moment. When you're ready, select the material that you've inserted, either PLA, ABS, or something else. Now you can start printing. It's really that easy. Depending on your slicing software, you may want to dial down the filament diameter in your printer profile. Now to unload 1.75 filament, you'll need to follow these steps exactly. So let's start by heating up the nozzle. Once heated, pull out the filament guide tube from the printer head. It should take out the filament along with it, and you'll notice a blob at the end. Use the Move Material option to advance the filament forward so you can cut off the end to get a clean tip, and that'll avoid getting stuck in your feeder. Now you can use the Change option to unload the filament. Be sure to insert the filament guide tube back onto the printer head before loading new material. Make sure it's inserted all the way, passing through the outer spring and Teflon tube. And now you're safe to insert the filament and wait for the nozzle to purge. You can begin printing once the material has fully purged.
Alright, so there you have it. That's how to use 175 filament on the Ultimaker 2. If you have any questions, you can let us know in the comments below and we'll gather them up and answer them on our live show that's on Google Hangouts. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more 3D printing videos and projects from Adafruit. I'll see you guys next time.
Okay, and then the other thing that Noah and Pedro did is they made a special pumpkin carbon video, so I want to show that.
Yeah, of course. It's
Okay.
the season. Gourds.
All right, we're back. Hey, you just Just some good advice. Don't look at your watch when it's an internet-connected watch while you're doing a live show. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Raspberry Pi stuff. Tony Nicola has a really cool video that he did. He's going to have the learning guide out soon.
Yes.
Here's a preview for the video. I'm getting through all these videos. We're almost of new products though.
Sure, why not?
This is the CloudCam project to build a motion sensing security camera with a Raspberry Pi. You can use the CloudCam to watch a room and alert you when something moves. For example, put one on your table or countertop to watch if your pet is up to no good while you're gone, or watch your pet's food dish to keep track of when it eats every day. When the camera detects motion, it can upload an image to Dropbox's cloud storage service, or upload to Adafruit's Internet of Things service, Adafruit IO, and build a dashboard of cloud cameras. To build the project, you'll need a Raspberry Pi and a Pi camera. You can use the No IR filter camera to build a cloud cam that can see in the dark with the help of infrared LEDs. You can 3D print a case to hold the Raspberry Pi and camera, or just put everything in a cardboard box for a simple enclosure. See the full guide in the description below to build your own cloud cam, the internet-connected motion sensing security camera with a Raspberry Pi. What would you
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we're all the way through.
Did you guys
Videos
like
are
that
done.
turning?
Yeah.
Turning interesting.
Good work, Tony. That was delightful. Okay. So the next thing is.
Just Pi Day.
Yeah. No, we did that.
Okay.
Is the code.
Code.
So we do the code right before new products because you know what time it is, Lady Ada?
It must be time for new products.
It's new products.
Okay. I'm ready. We have an exciting amount of new products today.
Okay, new products. All right,
Okay.
First up, what is this stuff?
This is the new proto-pasta, not perma-proto, proto-pasta filament. It's 1.75 millimeter filament, and this is magnetic iron PLA. So it's PLA with iron in it. It's not conductive, I don't think, but it is magnetic. So if you can go to the overhead or the above screen, whichever.
I'll go to the overhead. I got it.
So
I'll use it.
yeah, so this is the filament. So here's what's cool about it. I got this little magnet here, and see, it sticks to the magnet. So you can make things that will stick to magnets. So if you attach a magnet to it, then it will stick to something else metallic, or if you have something that's magnetic, it'll stick to it. Now, it isn't a magnet itself. Like, this doesn't stick to anything metal, like a fork or anything. And I don't think you could magnetize it, although you could try. I think they say it can't be magnetized, but it can stick to magnets. So if you want something that is magnetic, ferromagnetic, this is your filament.
Okay.
Ferrofilament.
All right, next up. This is kind of cool. This is, we got a few photos of it. This is the muscle sensor.
Yeah, this is neat. So Advancer has actually had many versions. This is like their third or fourth version of their muscle sensor. And I actually tried using the other ones, and they worked, but I think that this one is kind of their best. And this is a demo of Angel using it, and she's got awesome tattoos. And basically, you attach it to your muscle, and you attach it across the muscle, and she's got pretty good biceps here, or not biceps. What is it? Tricep? What is this
Forearms.
muscle? Forearms, whatever.
Yeah.
Forearm muscle,
It is
and
specific.
you can basically measure the spike of voltage using an Arduino microcontroller, anything with an analog input. I have it here. Do you want to try doing a demo? I could try.
Yeah, sure.
I
Let's
could
go,
try.
let's go to the overhead and see what happens.
Sure. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
This may work. This may not work. But so yeah, you get this muscle sensor, and then you also have to get some electrodes, which we sell. And the electrodes have gel, and they snap right on. They're disposable, so you use them once. And it looks like you just put it across a muscle like that. It's not calibrated to me, so I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm willing to try it out. And then you put another electrode in a neutral place. And then let me power this up. Okay. Uh-oh. Yeah, I don't know if this is working. Hold on. No, it just thinks I'm like super strong.
You're too strong.
No, I have to calibrate. There's a potentiometer over
Oh,
here that
yeah?
you have to calibrate, and I don't have time to do that right now. There's a little gain potentiometer. So you can tweak this, and then when you move your muscle, it will detect it, and it will, I mean, the video demo from Angel is best because, of course, she had time to calibrate and set it up. But basically, you squeeze and you measure the analog voltage output. But you do have to calibrate it. Once you stick it on, you have to twist the potentiometer so it knows the level of voltage that you're outputting.
All right, and then I guess we got a bunch of things that go along with this.
Yep, we have a 6-pack of electrodes. You'll need electrodes. It doesn't come with electrodes. Use one per use. You can also get these at any pharmacy or medical equipment shop. But if you just want to get started real fast, we sell these really nice ones as a pack. And they snap right on. And they don't use latex glue, so you don't have to worry about itchiness if you have a latex allergy.
Okay.
Yep.
Next up. It's all the same thing.
Yeah, more photos.
Okay. And then we had an LCD.
Okay, so next up, whoa, there's multiple. There is a monochrome OLED. So we have had multiple OLEDs in different sizes, and finally we have one in these nice large sizes that are not huge because we had a 2.7-inch one, and we have the 1-inch ones, and this one is available in both 1.5-inch and 2.4-inch. It's really nice and clear. It has crisp white LEDs, 128 by 64, and it doesn't have a backlight, so you don't have to use more power than it would take just to light it up, but it also has really good contrast, so it's good for outdoor use, as well as if you don't know what the light level is going to be, because you don't have contrast issues.
We have a video.
There's a video. There's a little bit of animation. And then just a photo of it on the top. And then it comes with some header, and we also give you a level shifter because it's 3.3 volt logic level.
Yeah.
So you'll want a level shifter using with a 5 volt microcontroller like an Arduino. Just shows you. It works with our graphics library, and then do you want to go to your overhead real fast?
Yeah, sure.
I'll show it off. Yeah, so this is the demo. So you don't usually see the flicker, that's just from the camera. See if it doesn't go away. But yeah, you've got this version, and then I'll swap it out for the tinier one. They use the exact same code, just this one is a little bit smaller than this one. So OLEDs. People like OLEDs. We now have them.
Okay.
You can use I2C, SPI, or 8-bit.
All right, and then we have another one. I guess I could show it. It's pretty close.
Yeah, this is the small version.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same, just smaller.
Okay.
Same pinout, same chipset, same code,
All right.
same everything.
Yeah.
So you can skip through these.
Yep. Okay, and then tonight, the star of the show, besides you, is Feather. Da-da-da. All right. So this is a new platform, a new thing that we're doing. This is a limited blue edition. We're going to be switching to black. So get it while it's blue.
It's not that I made a mistake and ordered blue instead of black.
Yeah. So Lady Ada, what is this board?
So Feather is my kind of new idea for a dev board. Basically, we've got stuff like the Metro Mini, and we've got the Pro Trinket, and people want something with native USB, like the Teensy or the 32U4 Breakout, and so I wanted to design something that had built-in battery charging, because a lot of people end up getting our Pro Trinket in a backpack that allows you to add LiPoly charging. So I thought, okay, well, instead of having two boards, let's just mix it into one board. So this board has basically a plug that you can plug in a LiPoly battery for charging, and it will charge over micro USB, or you can just run off of micro USB if you don't want a battery, so you can hot swap if you want. It has an Atmega 32U4, which is a USB microcontroller that's supported by the Arduino IDE really well. It can act like a USB serial converter, so you don't need an FTDI cable or anything, but also can act like a mouse or a keyboard or MIDI USB. We have a tutorial about doing that as well. It has pins on the side, so you have all the pins broken out and labeled. It has 20 GPIO, tons of analog, SPI, I2C, all that good stuff. And there's even a little bit of a prototyping space on the end there. So if you want, you can basically solder in a sensor or an LED or a button, and you don't even need to use a breadboard. And the idea behind this is actually there's going to be a series of these. So this is the first one. It's the most basic. We're going to have one that has a micro SD instead of a prototyping area, and this is the panel for it. And so you would have a data logging version, and then I'll have one that has a Bluetooth energy module, so it's the Bluetooth version. But they all have the same pinout and the same form factor, so you can kind of switch and swap whichever you want. So if you want to do a data logging project with Feather, you would use that one. You don't have to change anything else in your design or layout.
Okay, and just some other photos that we have
Yeah,
of
we
the
have
board.
this logo on the back and shows you all the pinouts and stuff. So yeah, we'll have a lot of these. We'll have like 6 or 7 different designs. Shows you can plug into a breadboard with a battery. It's super skinny because micro USB.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's only like 8 grams or something, and it's 2 inches by 0.9 inches.
Light
So
on weight, heavy on features.
light on weight, heavy on features.
Okay,
Exactly.
and with that, Lady Ada is new products. You're done.
Yay!
Good work. That was
It's
new
a
products.
feather.
That was new products. Okay. All right. So again, the code is Feather for tonight. 10% off. Adafruit products in our stock all the way up to 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. Use the code. 10% off. Feather, feather, feather. Okay. You have a top secret. It's not out yet.
I do. I want to show off
Okay.
some of the feather stuff,
Okay. It's not out yet.
but it's not out yet. So don't
All
ask.
right. Here it is. Okay. Do you want to go right to overhead?
Yeah, just go.
Let's do this.
So yeah, so I was going to
Top secret.
show. So this is that feather. So you can see it plugs into USB, and it's just running a blank sketch right now. And then I can plug this into my micro USB connector to charge it up. You can see it has a little charging LED to let you know it's charging the battery. And then what's going to happen is there's a whole bunch of designs for like shields, kind of. So like I'm going to call them feather wings, but basically if you have stacking headers on here, you can add like a NeoPixel feather or GPS on top of it. I also have like a servo driver feather wing. I have one with little OLED display. So basically just little stackable mini shields, because I like the Arduino shield idea, but I wanted something really small and portable, and again could run off a battery. And then I also have in the works a version that has like the same pinout and compatibility, but uses an ESP8266. But you can still use all the shields with it because it's just I2C or NeoPixel or SPI. So I'm still working on getting this, but the idea is that you'll have an ESP8266 with built-in battery charging and serial, and then you want to add like NeoPixels to it, and now you have a little mini matrix that's on the go, and you can charge up the battery or run off of USB. So this is my idea, and like there's basically 20 different boards I have to design here, so it's taking me a while, but I got the first one out, so hopefully by the end of the year we'll have another 5 or 6 of the feather main boards and maybe 10 different feather wing shields.
Okay. So
Yeah, and this shows the stacking headers. This is how you would
All right,
you would
this is a
stack
big
headers
deal.
on top. Stack. Okay, get these long.
be
stackers.
delighted if you're a customer. Be terrified if you're not. Okay.
This is my Halloween terror.
And that is the top secret for the night.
Ooh.
That was it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we're done.
All right. Yeah, we got there just in time. Okay. So we're going to open it up to questions. Ask your questions. Oh, there's usually a little question.
There it is.
I paid
You paid
good money for
the
these graphics. So anyways. Okay, we're going to open up these to comments and questions. Okay, the first one is, thanks for making these and not turning them into some Kickstarter. Yeah, I
You're
know.
right.
You're absolutely right.
It's almost like I looked at all the Kickstarters that never actually shipped,
Yeah.
and I was like, hey, I could just do this and not do a Kickstarter.
Yeah. Okay, will there be any e-paper displays for the Pi anytime soon?
There is somebody who made an e-paper display for the Pi, but I don't remember the name of it. It's probably called
Yeah.
an e-paper Pi, but it's a little hat with the e-display, e-ink display.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, what's a good way to figure out battery size, and what's the best way to learn Arduino?
We do have a tutorial on batteries. So if you go to learn.adafruit.com and type in batteries, it's a tutorial called All About Batteries. It tells you how to pick the size and type of your battery. And then to learn Arduino, I would pick up something like the Ardex or our Adafruit starter kit for Arduino. And then we have like 300 tutorials that have Arduino code in them. So like check those out. Just start with the basics, blink an LED, and then get the button press working, and then you're off to the races.
Yeah. So there's some, we're on Twitch, so there's people who probably never heard of Arduino or Raspberry Pi or electronics, so we're going to answer some pretty basic questions tonight too.
Sure.
Someone says, is Raspberry Pi like Arduino, a standalone thing that lets you create your stuff? So maybe you can briefly do an overview. So like, what's the difference between a Raspberry Pi and Arduino? That's kind of what they're asking. I'll translate
Okay.
it from 11
Twitch speak.
from 11-year-old boy talk.
Okay.
to regular here's a question that you can answer talk?
Well, a Raspberry Pi is actually just like a little computer. You can connect a monitor and keyboard and mouse to it, and you can basically turn it into a computer that can like play Minecraft, or you can program, or you can send email, or browse the internet. But it has pins that are out connected to it, like little electrical connectors that allow you to control and receive data from sensors, like movement sensors or LEDs or buttons or stuff like that. But it's still a computer in the sense. I mean, it runs a web browser. You can like log into it and like connect to the internet. An Arduino is a much simpler computer. It's very, very basic, and it doesn't like have a keyboard and mouse and web browser and all of that, but you can run off of like a couple batteries. Like you don't have to plug it into the wall, and it'll run off of batteries for like up to years. I mean, it's very, very power efficient because it doesn't have to like drive an HDMI monitor and has a speaker and stuff. And it's also really good at controlling and reading from sensors. So oftentimes you'll plug an Arduino into your computer, into a Raspberry Pi, if you want to say, connect a motion sensor so that your computer will email you when somebody enters your room. So that's like a project you could do with an Arduino or a Raspberry Pi.
Okay. All right. Next up, I'm going to go over to YouTube. This one is, should I use Lua C or something else to program the ESP8266?
You can use anything you want. People like Lua. I don't do Lua so much. I mean, it's a great scripting language, but I prefer to do compiled C. I just like compiling and uploading. But Lua is better for like if you just want to noodle around. So you can upload a Lua interpreter onto the ESP8266. Our breakouts come with it already, and you can basically just start immediately. But I actually prefer using it with the Arduino IDE, and I just type the code in C because it's nice to have all the Arduino libraries that are available usable. So like with Lua, like you can't connect sensors that don't have a library already written, but with C you can.
All right, I have several RTL SCR dongles, and I have several Raspberry Pis. How can I use these Pis in RTL SCR dongles to track an object using triangulation?
Not easily.
Yeah,
the thing is, the RTL dongles are, they're not calibrated because each one is going to be a little different. But what you would do is, you could triangulate things at probably a meter or so distance by having the object emit as beacon, a ping at a certain frequency, and then you would measure the strength of the frequency at each receiver. So you'd have 3 or 4 of them. But we're talking about like in a field. Like they wouldn't work in a room. I don't think you'd have enough resolution unless the room was very, very large, like a warehouse, like we are in here now. They wouldn't work in like a small area. You need to have quite a bit of space because again, each radio is going to have slightly different gains.
Okay.
At different frequencies.
Speed round.
Yeah.
Interested in using. Speed round for a few. You ready?
Okay.
Okay. Are you gonna ever make a sewable shield for the Pro Trinket?
Unlikely. Gemma and Flora kind of cover it.
Okay.
I think.
Learning FPGAs. What's a good resource?
We have the Dio Nano FPGA, which is really nice. It comes with everything, and it has a tutorial system online by TerraSync. Check that out.
Okay. About the RF 8001 breakout with SPI, do I need to use real SPI SS pins to connect the module rec pin?
No, you can use any pin.
Okay. Is it possible to establish communications between the Bluetooth LE micro behaving as host and a vehicle OB D2 BLE adapter behaving as a peripheral device? What is the communication protocol in this case?
No, the Nordic chip does not act as a Bluetooth host.
Okay. Well,
it can only act as a client. It can only connect to a tablet.
Okay.
It can't, or a phone or a computer.
Okay. Someone wants to ask, is this live? Somehow it does not look so. Yes, because we are so professional and we would never be able to.
No, don't tell them. It's all pre-recorded.
We actually have, we're computer generated, and then the audience itself is computer generated. And
you're not live either.
Yeah, one of the things you're going to realize is you're a hologram, and you're not actually real. You're a projection into this space-time. Sorry. Hate to break it to you.
But a self-aware hologram.
Yeah. No? They're not self-aware.
Okay.
Sorry. Not that one.
Not that one.
Yeah.
Okay, all the others, don't tell that one. Okay, what's the, more questions?
Yeah, that's it. We're done.
Okay, sweet.
Good work. Okay. So, let's give away something. Do you know what time it is?
It's giveaway time.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, it's trivia question.
Trivia question.
All right, what are the rules, Lady Ada?
Rules are if you've won something from this show, you can't win again. Only one winner per my lifetime. So if you've already won something, take a break and go play a video game or make a sandwich or do something else. The first person to type in the correct answer into one of the streams that Phil is watching, the first one he sees, is the winner.
I'm probably gonna
this
do.
feather.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do Twitch.
Twitch? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna check your Twitch.
Yeah. Okay, here's the trivia question. In 1957, the Sputnik program, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik 2. On board is a dog. What is the dog's name? It's dog night here. So in Twitch, if you look this up, I'm going to give you a feather. This is going to be your prize. And all you have to do is...
What is the name of the animal on Sputnik 2?
The dog in Sputnik 2. So the answer is not the Matrix. It's not Spuds McKenzie. Let's see who gets it. You know, Sean Macbeth, you're pretty close. It's Leica.
Leica.
Yeah, I'm gonna count that because
Sean Macbeth, congratulations.
Sean Macbeth, congratulations. And Twitch email support@adafruit.com and let us know your address. Tell us that you won the feather, and the team will send it out right away.
2771. If you can remember that, that'll help.
Yeah.
You're the winner.
Yeah, so Sean Macbeth, congratulations, you won. I just typed it up in the chat. This is the first time we've given away something on Twitch.
Yeah.
For everyone who's watching on Twitch, if you want to see us do this more, because it's kind of a pain to broadcast in 4 different ways, please get the word out, and we'll make a big deal. We do Periscope all the time now. We also will do Twitch.
Okay.
We'll do it. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. That is the show for the night. Good work, Lady Ada. We got through it.
That was quite a challenge, but you did it. I didn't do anything. I just sat here and looked good.
You're delightful. Apparently on CNN right now, by the way, there's a photo of our product, and it says Adafruit, and it says that we took down the Russian jet. So that's what email I just got to, in addition to a text message on my watch that said, I have a dead dog. Here's a picture that someone sent us. So they're blaming us.
Oh my God.
They're blaming us. They have a picture of our barometric sensor with a quarter, and it says U.S. intel suggests ISIS bomb brought down plane, and they used the Adafruit photo of our barometric pressure sensor. So
You know what's funny? It did say, you know what the problem is? Let's say what the problem is.
There's a lazy CNN person who
my boards actually say on them what they are. They say barometric pressure sensor. So the BMP 180, yeah, it does. Yeah, that's horrible.
So I just got like 50 emails like, did you see CNN?
That sucks.
Well, I mean, whatever. It's stupid.
We actually don't even ship to.
We don't even
whatever.
ship. We don't even ship to Russia. This isn't what brought down a Russian plane.
And we didn't. We're not. They just pick that. They just type in Google Images and they get the first thing.
That's what they did. You know,
That's
what's
what
cool?
everybody does.
You know what's cool is CNN has messed up every news story, so no one even considers.
No, that's true. Nobody's surprised.
No, like no one cares.
Okay.
This is the problem. So, anyways, that's what was going on.
Okay.
All right, we'll see everybody next week. It's always exciting here. It's always exciting. All right.
Goodbye.
Yeah, well, we have a picture of a cat. You know, some of the Twitch folks are new here, so we got a picture of a cat. And then here's your moment of Zener. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.